What we're looking at here is some simple animation. I'm going to show you about 5 slides and then show you how they were created. A big blue bouncing ball. A kite flying. Notice the fish swims in and out of the seaweed. A shot at goal from a different angle. A gentle dart flying. And on this one, the leaves will be falling gently from the tree, one after each other. Finally, we're going to try some golf, and we will putt the yellow ball. Oh, nearly. And this one goes into the hole and disappears after the animation, and we'll show you how that is done. Okay, let's look at the animation. A big blue bouncing ball. Click on the ball, and we've clicked on the animations tab, and I'm going to scroll down to custom path. We could use lots of the others, but in here I've got control of what I want it to do, and I'm going to use this for most of the things today. And right off the page, double click. Kids love that shimmering, etc. On to the next one, where we're just going to have a very similar sort of thing, a very gentle glide off the page. In this next one, what I'm going to do is hold control on a bunch of these bits of seaweed and then just right click and say send to back. Hopefully now, when it comes time to animate our fish, look, we've got the custom path coming up, and we are just going to glide through here, and it won't matter where we go, but we should see a little bit of ducking and diving, and I'll double click to finish that. Right, the next one is just really a different view, and so on this ball I'm going to come up to here, and we might make it so it's going up there, and bang, 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 and now it's going to go through. All right, this one here, I'm just going to show you a little bit about the speeds, etc. So on this custom path, I'm just going to make a path going across here, and out we go. With the animation pane open, I can click over here and say, look at some things like effect options, timing, speed up, slow down. Say, right, that was a bit fast, so I'm going to go very slow, and I'll click on OK. Now down on this one here, I've already left in some of the animations, and what I did here is clicked over into this area here, highlighted them all, and what we did is click and hold shift, and then what we do is start after previous, and so then we should get the 4 leaves all coming down together. The last thing we have to look at in this sequence is the walls here. So these have just followed a path round here. The first one is missed, the second one has gone in. But what I'm going to do on the second one is just click over here and right click here to get the timing. And if we look in here, we can look at the effect, the timing, and if we go over here, again, change those sort of things. I'm going to click again and just click over here and go to effect options. And what we can do after animation is hide after animation. You'll see a drop down list here and say hide after animation, and then it looks as though the ball has disappeared down the hole. We're now going to have a little bit of a different approach in this animation part 2, and it's a standard thing that I've used to introduce lots of students to a different kind of animation progression. So I've drawn a bus here, and I just wanted to show you something here. I've used the gradient fill. We've got a couple of stops here, and from in this area I've chosen the radial, which gives quite a nice effect for the tires. And if we come down and look at the line, I changed the line to get the thickness of the tires to about 16. Now I'm going to group the bus, and so Control G to group the bus, and we're going to see a progressions now by what we do is duplicate the slide and just move the bus along a little bit. Go over here, Control D to duplicate the slide and move a little bit. One more, Control D, and move this along a little bit to duplicate the slide. So now, if we were to run this, we can press the space where we see a little bit of movement. The smaller the move, the smoother the animation becomes. So my standard thing is you create the vehicle and have 4 slides until you get to a set of traffic lights. And if we draw some traffic lights now, I'll just sneak in here, and that's going to be black. I'm going to go back to this tool here. They can have all sorts of interesting things develop from the traffic lights, but again, I'm just going to stick with the black here, and I'm going to make a circle for the lights, and I'm doing something on purpose here, which and I'll do Control D, just drag that into line, and a reminder from somewhere, we'll do Control D again, and notice how it puts it perfectly in place. Now, if I go through here now and I shape fill these and put the colors in, I want some problem solving to come into this as well. So I don't tell the students what they might encounter here, so I'll put in an amber and a green. Now the idea is the bus moves along here until it has to stop at the light. So we'll just maybe do Control D now and just move the bus along a little bit, and Control D, and now that's all I say. Now the interesting things emerge from this, where the lights are putting this way. They're all the same color, so I don't know how to stop, and they have to come up with different sorts of problem solving things. But we do see things, like this as one alternative, where the fill color of those ones can be seen grey, and so they're blocked out. Now I don't get too here, but once they get past the lights, anything can happen, and you'll see some examples of that later. We are now waiting at the traffic lights until it is time to move on. Now once you get past the traffic lights, you are allowed to do whatever you like, and in this case we have sneaked past the traffic lights, and some kind of interesting journey may evolve. Just wanted to give you a quick look at a couple of traffic lights that I have seen by students making a variation, on perhaps looking directly at the traffic lights facing the wrong way, and how you know that the traffic lights have changed colour. There's also a different approach. In this next part, I'm going to take you through a pre-prepared animation and just show you what has gone into making it. So the topic is recreation, and we're changed to have a person or team performing recreational activities. The big thing here is that we need to have individual parts that might be movable. So this is a trampolining exercise, and in behind this trampoline here I have a little part just that I can pull down to look at the bouncing, and we'll see some of that in the next few slides. So up, down, up. Now we can have movement here, so the arm is being moved separately, and as I scroll down here the other arm is coming out, and then bounce. And so we're bouncing up like this until we get to a stage further up the way where we want to start doing some twists or twirls. So at this stage this whole character has to be grouped. So you can see here the grouping, and when necessary later on I will ungroup this. So back we go, down through here, round we go, and we can see different exercises. So I'll just take you through now the whole animation and hope you understand how we did it. So I'm just clicking the space bar here. Individual movement at this stage. We are grouping. Round we go. Notice that the arms have been stretched out. Up we go. Round, and there is our demo. Now later on we will look at how we can make all that happen automatically without having to touch the spacebar or the mouse.